help American farmers out. Sign up below and let's go in that
My favorite
helicopter and
part.
go hog hunting.
Right here.
Enter to win now.
Save America, stop communism. I mean, when is America becoming communist? Shouldn't that happen first? Can we make America communist and then we can work on stopping the communism, you know? Oh, okay, we gotta talk about feral hogs. It's about time. This is an important story. All right, let's get the beanie rundown quickly.
The pigs! Now we can say our upcoming film, The Pigs Cometh, is based on a true story. Feral pigs torment residents of New Zealand capital. Wellington City Council says feral pig population in suburbs has been expanding. So that's just the gist of the story. The people who live in Wellington, New Zealand are apparently, what's going on, Ian? They're being attacked by pigs?
Yeah, somebody lost like 40 goats or something to pigs in the last month or so.
Oh, the pigs.
They
This
said
is
it's,
happening in Rome,
it's
Italy,
because-
too.
quote, it's a murder scene, according to this one witness.
Wow.
So
So we're planning a movie called The Pigs Cometh. And the idea was it's like New York City, and there's like all they like it starts with them being like, I, the mayor, hereby proclaim all guns are banned, and then everyone's like, yay! And then it shows the cops like just like grabbing guns, and all the gangs are turning their guns in, and then everyone's like, we've done it, the guns are gone, and then all of a sudden they see like a pig like in the distance just like eating garbage, and they're like, what's that?
This is the most Tim Pool movie ever. Oh my god. You can just like, you can picture the entire Tim Pool ecosystem, all of them in a circle, like maybe one of them stoned, and then Tim Pool's getting really mad at that. He's like, I've told you before, no drugs. We do not allow drugs in the inner circle. Anyways, do we have any idea for movies? How do we make it about the guns? So I don't think this is what we were talking about when I was talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene, but this is a real phenomenon. I thought this was just some more news Cody Shody meme factory, but feral hogs apparently are a real thing, and they can devastate towns, and they're vicious. Like this is pretty wild to me. Feral hogs are an incredible problem. Actually, they're real. Cody was right. Feral swine bomb. How wild pigs are threatening Canada's ecosystems and economy. It's happening here in my backyard. I didn't even know.
Runs a non-profit.
After its bag. 220 acres of corn that year to feral hog damage.
They are suffering significant financial losses year after year.
It
What?
is so disheartening to spend so much time and so much money putting a crop in the ground and then seeing it come up and look okay
Okay, no way this is a Canadian. This accent sounds so southern.
and go back the next day and it's completely mowed down. It's a really bad problem.
What is happening right now?
And I do often feel like I'm fighting a losing battle.
During our visit, she took us on a tour of their sprawling 3,000 acres to a spot where her dad...
The county I'm in encourages you to shoot feral hogs? Really? Huh. Alberta sounds very similar to Vancouver. It does not sound like this. You don't go to Alberta, which is like in the center left of Canada, and all of a sudden it becomes like the South, like actual like the Dixie South, and all of a sudden as soon as you get to like, you know, the East, it's like, oh, the accent has removed itself. So feral hogs are real. They're very destructive. I thought it was a Cody Shody thing, but clearly it's wild. Okay, I've learned something today. So questions. Can you eat a feral hog? Would the meat be as succulent and juicy? Can we, and this one's for the vegans, can we reduce the amount of factory farming we're doing by simply trying to cull the feral hog population? It's tasty, yep. It's not as good, but you can eat it. Well, why don't we do that then? Why don't we reduce, because factory farming is just barbarically cruel torture, right? Like we put animals in cages that are like so small they can't move, and they have to stay in those cages, and you know, we have to cut off like birds' beaks and stuff because they try to commit suicide and other things like that. So why don't we go after the feral hogs? Because we have two problems. We have factory farming is barbaric, we shouldn't do it, and we have too many feral hogs and they're destroying crops. So why don't we just do a feral hog hunt? Is like, I don't know. I'm trying to do prescriptions here, but I feel like these problems are solvable. We could combine them. Everyone wants like the meat. There's no slowage of meat consumption. We have all these feral hogs. They're more likely to have parasites. Well, I mean, doesn't our factory farm meat have so much, like such high levels of shit that we put like bleachers and other chemicals in it, so it doesn't. I mean, I might be talking out of my ass. It's been a while since I read Fast Food Nation. Just ground it up in the sausages. Yeah. I mean, if we can eat the feral hogs, why don't we just hunt the feral hogs? And for all the gun weirdos and the hunter fetishists, like you have a license to get it. Antibiotics are banned in Canada, so we can ship the meat to the U.S. then, or to someone else who needs the meat, the biotic meat. We'll send it somewhere. I'm just saying, there's a solution here, you know? We should eat them before they eat us. That's where I'm going with this. I have no idea where Marjorie Taylor Greene lashes out at a news media after criticism over her feral hog hunting stunt. U.S. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene is furious at the entire news industry, especially Huffington Post, after it published a report highlighting her latest stunt, a video portraying her as some kind of lightning-powered superhero with a helicopter and an AR shooting a feral pig. Okay, I have to see this video. Oh, yes. Please.
We've got skyrocketing inflation, high diesel fuel, and Democrats' America Last policies. Democrats aren't the only one destroying farmers' ability to put food on the table. We've got wild hogs destroying farmers' fields. So we decided to go hog hunting.
Yes. Yes.
Let's help American farmers out. Sign up below and let's go in that helicopter and go.
Okay, well, first off, did you actually, or is that special effects? It's hard to tell from that much distance whether this is a CGI kill. Oh, I guess you did get the kill. So this is like America every single time. Like it's not enough for American political ads to shoot the word socialism and have it explode as if it was made of gas, like it was a fucking propane tank or something. Now we need you in a fucking helicopter with an AK-47 just fucking shooting down fucking feral hogs. Amazing. This is the most American ad ever. Oh no, I understand the implication is that she's actually shooting Democrats. There's a lot of Republicans who are flirting with that idea, you know, who they'll do like that guy who had the House raid where it's just like, yeah, we don't tolerate fucking fat cat elite liberals in this part of town, like kicking the door, bank, you know, kind of stuff. I'm actually just shooting literal cats. Don't worry, I'm not going after actual Democrats.
Let's help American farmers out. Sign up below and let's go in that helicopter
MTG
and go
hog
hog
hunt.
hunting. Enter to win now.
Wait, what was that? Oh man, she went full Watchmen at the end. Amazing. Oh.
Enter to win now.
Oh. Whew. Thank you, Marjorie Taylor Greene. That was one hell of a gift. Okay, so why is she big mad? After it published a report highlighting her latest stunt, blah, 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 in the video posted to Facebook, she claims there's skyrocketing inflation, high diesel fuel, and America's last policies. Democrats aren't the only ones destroying farmers' ability to put food on the table. We got wild hogs destroying farmers' fields, says Greene, who has nearly no responsibilities as a member of Congress. So we decided to go, this is amazing, who has nearly no responsibilities as a member of Congress. Greene takes a large AR-15 assault rifle into a helicopter so she can shoot and kill a feral hog from the air. She later poses with the dead carcass on the ground. Her stunt does nothing to help farmers, but it does help her image with the pro-gun right and serves a fundraising stunt. She uses the video to announce a contest for supporters to join her in a helicopter hog shooting trip. Oh, wow. Wow. So you can donate and get into a raffle to win the opportunity to go up in a helicopter with Marjorie Taylor Greene and shoot feral hogs. It's a real political venture in the United States. Man. I mean, I'd say never change America because this is beautiful, but you desperately need to change. Yes, you'll kill us all. Wednesday morning, Huffington Post published a story titled, Marjorie Taylor Greene likens Dems to hogs, wants help shooting them dead. The report notes Greene had been stripped of her House committee assignments over her use of violent rhetoric, including towards Democrats. Greene was outraged. In a 7-part Twitter thread directed at HuffPost, she writes, I demand you change this headline and lies about me immediately. Your freedom of press is not freedom to lie about me. I never said anything like this, and did not call for violence on Democrats. She calls the reporter and editor a fraud and says they should be fired. Hey, why is every free speech absolutist the first to want to censor the press when they report on them? It seems to be a very consistent pattern. And I'll add this. I, as a freedom lover, because I desperately and deeply love freedom, I believe in the First Amendment to the Constitution. Even as a non-American, I think it's a beautiful thing. I agree with the sentiment that the government of the United States should be able to enact no laws that infringe upon the rights of the freedom of the press. Just because Marjorie Taylor Greene is a bit of an anti-Semite, I don't think that anyone should have restrictions in their ability to report on that. And the Jewish space lasers and the Holocaust was bad, actually, because I went to the Holocaust Museum, and that we should have statues of Hitler because that'll teach people about history shit. I think you should be able to talk about that, report on it. You should have the freedom to do that, and they should not be able to come after you. Yeah, I think that's like the first signs of an authoritarian regime is when they're going to start coming after the freedom of the press. So I am all for that, baby. That's really different than I want to have a private company amplify my hatred and bigotry towards trans people using advanced algorithms. I want the right to do that because that's freedom of speech. And then I want that to be amplified to such a point where I dox people. I want to have the ability to post the addresses and emails and phone numbers of doctors that I think are giving genital mutilation to children and then not get in trouble for it. Because again, free speech, that's what it is, right? That my power to do that. I'll also add every one of those free speech absolutists, doesn't matter who they are, Dave Rubin, Jordan Peterson, every single one of them has blocked me. And I know people say, well, blocking isn't the same as censorship. They just don't have to deal with your shit. It's like, kind of feels like when they have someone who posts something they don't like me posting a picture of Jordan Peterson shooting a picture of cider, like that was something he didn't like, it hurt his feelings, seems immediately like he's like, oh god, censor, 1984, there you go, the Dragon of Chaos descends. Like, yeah, I don't think they really care about freedom of speech. I think they care about selective speech and their personal speech being protected. They want the ability, like the only person that really gets protected by doing a blanket statement, as in you should be able to say and do anything you want all the time, are people who want to say and do the most horrible things in society. So yeah, it protects Nazis. It definitely protects Nazis who want to say and do horrible things. And guess what? I'm not a trans person, but I imagine as a trans person who has a lot of difficulty in society, being generally accepted, facing lots of bigotry, they probably don't want people in their timelines saying and doing horrifying things to them, posting pictures of their pre-transition photos, posting their dead names, mocking them. I guess it would be, yes, an end to free speech if these people weren't allowed to do that, but they should have protections, because you'll notice it happens instantly when it's in the other direction. Why does all the free speech absolutists, fucking Rebel News, Jordan Peterson, Dave Rubin, all of them, why do they block me? Why, when I point out shit about them, either as a joke, as a meme, or just straight up post receipts? Why do they block me right away? Because they don't want to have to deal with harassment, I guess. That's how they, like, oh, I want the ability to not have to deal with this. And that's really different than someone who's being harassed for innate attributes, like whether it is like the color of your skin, or your sexuality, or your gender, stuff like that. Stuff that, like, you don't have an ability to change. Whereas Jordan Peterson could stop being a transphobe. Jordan Peterson could stop being a bigot. You know, he could stop being a racist. Like, all these kind of things. Like, he is choosing to be those things, right? She calls for the reporter and editor to be fired and then goes off on the entire news media. You don't get to lie about me and many of my colleagues, calling us Nazis, fascists, and any other nasty label you type up and get away with it. There's not one single Republican that has ever aligned with Nazism, fascism, Marxism, socialism, communism, or any awful political ideology, she says in carefully chosen rhetoric. There are Republicans today exhibiting fascistic behaviors and promoting fascistic ideology. President Joe Biden has criticized the ideology of MAGA Republicans as semi-fascism. In late August, the White House singled out Greene to defend President Biden's semi-fascism criticism, saying Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene has publicly expressed support for shooting prominent Democratic elected officials and suggesting physically assaulting transgender school officials. Greene this week celebrated Italy's election of a neo-fascist prime minister. Well, I don't know. We kind of learned from Jimmy Dore. Is it a communist or a fascist? Like, could be a communist, you know? She's calling out the elites, the globalists, the bankers, the international bankers. It talks a lot about bankers. Really hates bankers. Kind of really big on that one. The global cabal of bankers. Yeah, weird. Anyways, probably nothing. Communism. Am I right? Yeah, it's communism. Tragically, we do not, she concludes. Watch Greene's video below. I did. It was glorious. Okay, one more time.
We've got skyrocketing inflation, high diesel fuel, and Democrats' America Last policies. Democrats aren't the only one destroying farmers.
Did she forget that she hung out with Fuentes? True. She not only hung out with Fuentes, she spoke at his event. Yes, Holocaust denying white nationalist, friend of Stephen Bonnell II Destiny, Nick Fuentes. She was at his fucking rally. I forgot about that.
Ability to put food on the table. We've got wild hogs destroying farmers' fields. Let's help American farmers out. Sign up below and let's go in that helicopter
favorite part.
and go hog hunting.
Right here.
Enter to win now.
Save America, stop communism. I mean, when is America becoming communist? Shouldn't that happen first? Can we make America communist and then we can work on stopping the communism? You know, that whole part. Oh, good to know. All right, and feral hogs are a real problem. I'm learning things. Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form, available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Juste, we shall spend many a generations building mighty cathedrals in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are but your oafish jesters, here to offer you a laugh at any opportunity. To our brave knights of the Round Table, Rachel K., Izzy Solidarity, Victoria Bell, Sebastian Demel, Mark Harmon, Benji Arney, Scary Earth Human, Tony, DM Rivera, Resident Scarecrow, Sir Nickus, Cheryl Alvarez, Ruby Kelly, Brandon, Words Greenwood, Everything Important, Hegbert Celine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariane McCarthy, Doug Cady, Daniel Sutton, Jenna Tao, Dark Puppy, Quiet One 85, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Multimondi, Trevbot EXE, Brian Ephraim, Anthropophojak, Catherine, Ramon Acosta, Incosin, Ralph Parler, Violent Orchard, Political Puppy, La Media Panza, Todd Buckingham, and Todd La Jeunesse. We salute our valiant heroes off to fight injustice everywhere.